Ahoy, SWABS! Captain Jeff the Pirate here, at your service. And welcome to another episode of Captain Jeff Reviews and Questions Adventure Time. Today's episode, the long-awaited Princess Day. Arrgh. Alright, so this episode will be taking place in the Breakfast Kingdom, where Breakfast Princess be hosting the soiree, or whatever it is. And so all the princesses from around of would be there to discuss important things and whatever. You see Bubblegum Princess, and you see, the Muscle Princess, and you see basically it's a who's who of princesses. And then all of a sudden, arguments start to break out. The Breakfast Kingdom, they get eggs from the Slime Kingdom, and Slime Kingdom needs peanuts from the Peanut Kingdom, and Peanut needs socks from the Raggedy Princess, and basically it shows that there be strife and trade troubles and disagreements between the kingdoms. Now, for some reason we see that Marceline is there, but we don't know, she'd be a vampire queen. Though I guess technically she's the only female of the demon realm, so, go figure. Anyway, Princess Bubblegum be working on a crossword, and then we see Lumpy Space Princess. Hey, that's right, it's a Lumpy Space Princess episode, folks. So then, Lumpy Space Princess proceeds to yell that she be barred out of her face. And sarcastically, the Breakfast Princess apologizes how such importantly duties be barring to her. And they're like, wait a minute, you're not even a real princess anymore. You left your kingdom. So what are you doing here? So, it's your turn, we'll get to you. And the LSP says, I wasn't even invited. I'm here crashing, and I ate most of your food, so what are you gonna do about it? To which Breakfast Princess has her maple syrup guards try to escort her out. But the LSP, she leaves of her own free will, after eating some more food and leaving. Marceline sees this and asks Princess Bubblegum if she wants to ditch. She's like, nah, I have to work on this crossword. So apparently Princess Bubblegum is not that interested in the other affairs of the other kingdoms. That makes me wonder what be going on there. So, anyways, Marceline be chasing after the LSP, who is now using a knife to carve out a giant gash in the wall as she's floating along. Don't worry, the walls are made of pancakes, so she ain't doing too much real property damage. So Marceline admits that she likes LSP's I don't care style and decides to have a little fun and get back at Breakfast Princess. They find her bedroom being guarded by one of the maple syrup guards. And LSP tries to distract him, which she does for Marceline to turn invisible, and she punctures a hole in his plastic and sucks out some of his syrup, and he falls over. So then she reappears and then vomits the syrup. Apparently she can't eat syrup. So they go into the Breakfast Princess's room, trash her place, take her favorite CD, even though it's the one that Marceline hates the most, and LSP proceeds to eat Breakfast Princess's outfits, which are basically food. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, before leaving, LSP called her egg breath. Called the Breakfast Princess egg breath. And then, the weirdest thing is, even though this is for princesses, Cinnamon Bun be with Flame Princess. Though I guess technically, as her boyfriend and bodyguard, he's stuck with her no matter where they go. Okay, getting back to the present. Another syrup guard comes and is about to enter the room. So Marceline turns invisible, and LSP begins to panic. Quickly, she grabs a grapefruit off of a tree and slices it open. The guard comes in and gets eyes full of grapefruit juice, to which Marceline and LSP run away. So they're going down the hallway, and meanwhile, back in the main room, one of the guards informs Breakfast Princess that there be interlopers in trouble in the kingdom. So she decides to handle it, and she says, we will now continue business with my little sister, Princess Strudel. So she leaves, and Princess Strudel begins to take over the conference. Alright, so they get to... So while they're being chased by the guards, LSP has an idea. She carves out a wall and goes through it with Marceline. Then she carves out the outer wall, and she has her wait. The guard then goes through the first hole, and then he looks through the second hole and is like, where did they go? Marceline becomes her monster form and scares him, and he falls and lands on a pile of sugar cubes, to which he's okay. So they decide to make the escape by stealing the breakfast mobile. It's a car that looks like breakfast items. Ugh, they take things way too far in this kingdom. So they be driving along, and they be talking, Marcy and LSP, and they hit Breakfast Princess. She's knocked unconscious, so they pick her up and they throw her in the back of the trunk. Breakfast Princess comes to, and the trunk is open, and they're in the middle of a desert. Marcy and LSP be wearing quite possibly the worst face disguises ever. It's basically a paper plate and paper cup just cut out, taped, and whatnot. So they give her a shovel and tell her to start digging to make a sandcastle. Yeah, we can't have the shallow grave in this series. It's a little too child-friendly. So they drive off. And LSP says... So while they're laughing at their success, LSP asks the question, are we bad people? And Marcy doesn't really believe in that. She just thinks that every once in a while good people do bad things. And she starts to feel bad about taking the CD. Says they'll mail it back to her afterwards. And then for some reason, the show pulls a Thelma and Louise. The car drives off the edge, but both the main ladies are able to fly, so LSP and Marcy avoid destruction, but the CD and the car fall off the cliff and blow up. Meanwhile, back at the... So they're having fun. Meanwhile, back at the conference, everything's wrapping up, and Slime Princess lays an egg and it smacks Princess Strudel right in the face. But everyone seems to be celebrating how all their differences have been worked out. And thus ends Princess Day on a rather high yet goofy note. Alright, so this episode, it'd be pretty interesting. Like, for starters, the so-called one true King of Ooh, wherever the heck he is, or whoever the heck he is, wasn't seen at this conference, yet all the princesses be there. Well, not all of them, only us. I highly doubt they can fit every princess into there. But, hey, it would be a large conference. Now, the way the princesses were acting about how trade and disputes and stuff be going on, it kind of reminded me of episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars, the 3 movies. Kind of like the whole Trade Republic and the Federation and all that. You know what I'm talking about. This would be a good episode, and I enjoyed it, but there'd just be one key factor that I'd be wondering. For those... I almost missed this myself, so this be a huge thing. Where be Marceline's fancy giant sun hat? It be daytime, and she's flying around in the daylight without burning and catching on fire and dying like the typical vampire. To that question, I took to the entire net, and I looked around. Accordingly, if you look at the title card of the episode, you see Marceline holding a bottle of sunscreen. Well, you see a very pale pair of arms holding a bottle of sunscreen, or I guess sunblock in this case. So, that's it. That's our clue of why Marceline is flying around in the broad daylight without a special cover or hat or anything. Who approved this? Who approved this? That I ask you. Well, anyway, aside from that one great glaring factor, which... Okay, it's simultaneously glaring, yet I almost completely missed it just because I was watching the show. But, yeah. So it'd be a good episode. It has its goofiness, and it just had this huge plot hole I just pointed out. So I give the episode for Princess Day 1 thumb up. Yeah. So I liked the conflict. I liked the story. I liked the whole making fun of Thelma and Louise at some points. The fact that Marceline and LSP interacted and pretty much caused havoc this time. Like I said, the sunblock on the title screen. That's the only instance we got. Ugh. I was going to give it a thumb and a half. 1 thumb and a half, but this sunblock thing, that takes a half a point off, so sorry about that, folks. Until next time, this be Captain Jeff for Reviewing and Question Adventure Time saying, arr. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.